Hello, hello, hello there. Welcome to Agorapreneurs Live, where we're talking about the live and let live lifestyle for entrepreneurs and the opportunities for you. Hi, I'm Terry Braca, and I'll be your guide today here on this live version. It's good to be back live. We had a little disruption there for a while, but now back going strong. And what a great thing to do today to talk about the Metaverse, talk about what's going on with Web 3.0, talk about NFTs and virtual reality, VR. There's a whole lot with that, and some other things I want to share with you, introduce you to someone who really knows this well, and he's going to be able to help you a lot. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you. And matter of fact, because this is live, would love to hear from you. If you want to leave a comment below, or you're going to come on screen, share a comment that we can hear, that would be wonderful. Please do that, and then we can monitor what's happening over here. I'm using my Restream here, a great little tool that it is, and looking at comments and reactions and things like that that'll come through. So if you want to put a comment in there, we will be able to see that, and looking forward to helping you on these kind of things. Because I want to tell you something that's coming up that's going to directly relate to Metaverse and NFTs, Web 3.0, and that's going to be our Video Rockstars program that we hold every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time in the U.S. Video Rockstars, which is a sister organization for Agorapreneurs, founded on that. Gina and I are in both of them, and Gina and I will be there talking to you about several different things, the Metaverse and all that. We're even going to throw in a few little extra goodies too. Like during this particular event, we have a little thing that we like to call Caulking Tech Tips with Terry, Tantalizing Tech Tips. You're going to get some good tips. Matter of fact, the Terry's Tantalizing Tech Tips. On this one, I'm going to feature something that's going to be kind of handy. You might be able to use this. Video editing ideas. How you're going to be able to edit video, and should you, and I'm going to just kind of pull the curtain back and say, hey, here's one that I did as a colossal, oh, whoops. And when I was doing a video, and I thought, oh, no, what am I going to do? And I'm going to show you what I did to recover from that and make it even better, and what you can do if you're doing any video editing. So this can be helpful. Or if you're doing any audio, same principles will apply. So if you ever make a mistake, you'd want to catch at least that portion of what we're doing, because it's going to be really nice. But our real special guest is going to be Mitch Jackson. I want to share with you who this man is. He is an attorney, qualified, honest to goodness, went to law school, certified lawyer. And he's talking about many things that relate to, well, where you and I live, social media, etc. He's been known for that for a long time. And now Mitch is getting into the Metaverse. Matter of fact, he's got a book coming out about it, a Metaverse book, and he's helping people to understand what to do, what not to do, how to avoid some major gaffes that could hurt you. And we're going to have him as our guest this coming Wednesday. It's going to be pretty good. Here's his book, by the way. You might want to write this down or get a screenshot, particularly of that book. The Metaverse Handbook, how to create, market, and sell in a virtual world. Now, this is profound, because we are definitely in this virtual world. In a way, it's kind of like I remember when the internet was just getting started. They were calling it the information superhighway. You remember that? Some of you are old enough to remember that. It was really something. We didn't know where we were going or what was going to happen. And some people were saying, I'm not going to get on that internet thing. I don't want to be there. The internet's bad. It's just dirty pictures and bad people and all that. Well, we know now that, yes, the internet can have some less than desirable parts, but it can also have a lot of good. And we're all using it now. We're all using it in a really big way. And so there's a lot there. Well, I want to look at some of the things that are going on with the Metaverse and what that is. And the way I do this is I want to focus on a particular article here that was written by Mitch Jackson himself. This is one of the many articles he's written, and he's kind of pulled those into his book and working with it in some major ways that I think can really help you and me. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you there, and you can see what's going on here. But I'm going to read some portions of this to you and then give you some of my comments on it as well. The Metaverse is evolving into a sophisticated and accepted environment. See, that's important. It's accepted. People are going, okay, now we get it. It's not just something for kids to use. But by the way, have you noticed often new technologies start with the kids, and then gradually grown-ups start using it too, and the adults do it more with that as well. New expressions and experiences in business, culture, and communications are quickly changing in a high-speed internet and 5G wireless world. See, this is really important. Because in our wireless world today, what we're going to see are things that are going to be, well, completely different than what we did before. We're going to see other ways that we can operate, ways that we can, change it so that we can get the kind of things that we want when we want them. I'm making my picture here just a little bit different so you can see this. And so I can come in here like this and move over here. There we go. So I can talk to you like this. So we're seeing our world changing greatly in many different ways. And also he says here that the human acceptance of this new digital frontier has been accelerated by working remotely in an upside down COVID-19 world. Facebook investing $10 billion investment. $10 billion? Hey, I don't know about you, but where I grew up, out in the country, we call that serious money. They're putting some money in there. It's really serious. And not only that, but as he says here, they went on and changed their name to Meta, which sets the tone for everything that's coming. Humanity's expanding need to connect, communicate, and do business with each other around the world is simply fuel on the fire. We're seeing some major changes in our world today, and we're seeing what's coming in the future. I remember back in the 90s, again, when we talk about where it got started, people would look at it, didn't understand it, and now we look back and say, gee, I sure wish I would have invested in Microsoft way back then. Well, yeah, or gotten involved in the internet or started a company or got involved with a kid named Jeff Bezos who was starting a crazy thing called like selling books on the internet. Oh, come on, that'll never fly. I remember speaking at conferences where one of the other speakers say books will never work unless they're an ebook. Now, if they're an ebook, it can, but physical books will never sell on the internet. Well, he meant well, and the limited thinking that we had back then, we all thought, yeah, it's not really for physical objects. And then Facebook started doing that. Or not Facebook, Amazon started doing that. And it really changed a lot. So now we're seeing major things changing here in the world. We're seeing how it is there. And Mitch goes on to talk about in this way, he's doing all kinds of activities with it. And we're going to get a chance to hear from him live and direct on that and what he is doing. Now, he says, while I enjoy doing the above, I focus on tapping into the power of virtual reality to host work-related small and large meetings and presentations in spaces that allow for maximum engagement. See, that's a huge part of it. The maximum engagement part is where we can connect with others. We can do a whole lot more. It's like gaming is a big thing right now. I'm not really into gaming as much. I might later. I want to look into it and study a little bit of it. But I know, for instance, our nephew is doing a lot with it, and many others are doing it. And they're learning a lot of skills. We used to poo-poo it as, well, it's just a waste of time. I think there are some benefits to it. Now, it can be taken to an extreme, yes, but we're in an early stage right now, and I would say we all need to kind of keep an open mind on all this stuff to see what we can do and how it's going to work and where we can do it. He says, well, I enjoy gaming on the side of VR, but not when I'm representing serious clients in high-stakes litigation matters. Thank you, Mitch. That's a really good thing. Say, with the above in mind, he wanted to share some of what you can do in the first steps, etc. He says there are multiple metaverses to choose from to set up your VR office. After trying numerous offices, I've selected the following 2 platforms. He's got 2 here, and you'll want to write this down. This is what Mitch had to say. Just write this down, scratch it in there somewhere. Spatial.io. That's spelled SPATIAL.io. And he talks about this as a place to get in there and get started. He says it's the most professional metaverse I found and am impressed by its Spatial.io. By it is Spatial.io. It offers free and affordable paid plans and a great place to get comfortable in the VR space. This is what we need. We need something like that says, okay, here's how you can get in there and you can crawl before you walk. And then walk before we run. And so we kind of gradually build into it. So I have not heard of this. I can't say yes or no for it, but I can say Mitch has looked into this. He studied it and looks like it's something pretty good. Spatial.io. You want to take a look at that, see what it's like. You can participate in public spaces or set up your own private spaces. I set up a private conference room and private presentation room, stage and audience, to meet potential clients, existing clients, experts, friends, and other third parties. Spatial calls these spaces. So that's real good. I'll leave it up to you to look in this. This is an article that Mitch Jackson wrote over on LinkedIn. So if you go over to LinkedIn and look around for what Mitch has done there, you'll see it. So he says, take an hour or so, get around there, get to know it. I'm doing that right now. Matter of fact, here, let me just reach over here and get this. Look what I've got here. And let me make this a little bit larger for you to see. There we go. This is my Quest 2 headset that Santa Claus and Gina brought to me, and I'm very grateful. Thank you very much, Gina. Appreciate that. And I'm using this now, and I'm getting into it and watching videos. Now, what I wanted to do is I really wanted to watch videos on YouTube, because I like that. And boy, oh golly, they're really nice. You can put it in there and it's like you're watching a monster big widescreen. The sound is incredibly realistic and just vivid, exciting when you're watching that and you're looking all around, you're moving. That's great. And then YouTube has other channels that you can use for the metaverse, getting into this. And what it is they give you the ability to look at all kinds of other options that are available. So you can say, okay, I want to find out, what's available here, how I can see this, what I can do, and the ways that I can work with it. That will be extraordinarily important, and it will be something that we can use in many different ways. I find that it gives you a real engulfing experience that goes far beyond what we've seen in other areas, and it goes far beyond the regular kind that we had seen before that let us say the videos in one dimension. Matter of fact, there's one that I saw that I thought was particularly interesting. It was the ability to get a tour of the White House with Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. Now, this is not a political statement, okay? This is just what was done. This is something they did with the White House, and when you see it, it's like you're right there. You're seeing what's going on. It's just profound. And when they go have a scene, and then they just cut scenes, and you're sitting in a chair right next to Barack Obama, the president. And you feel like you're right there because it is that visceral, that real. And you think, okay, what am I going to do about this? How am I going to make this work? What am I going to do? How am I going to get it to adjust to it? And you know what? We do. It's one of those things that is really, really handy. And what you'll want to do is you'll want to get into it, see what it's like, and start playing around with it. Let's go back here to the article and what Mitch said. He talked about many different things here. You'll want to read a lot of details. But also I want to bounce down here to the other place he was talking about, right here. They can get private spaces on Spatial, and he had some final thoughts then on it. But he also recommends Facebook, Oculus, and Horizon workrooms. Facebook or Oculus Horizon workrooms. Now, this is where you can go and you can see a lot of different things. Let me make my little picture a little bit smaller here. See this right here where you go in there and you sit down at your computer, you're operating it, you see your hand, and I've seen things like that in what I've done so far. I have not done this, but I think I want to get in there. Now, he talks about workrooms. Beta is the VR, virtual reality space for teams to connect, collaborate, and develop ideas together. You can meet teammates across the table, even if you're on the other side of the world. Oh my goodness, that is a wow. That is a big wow, because now you can start getting together. Now, yes, it's not the same as physical, but it's better than not being together at all. It's better than just talking on that telephone. It's even better than a Zoom call. It's better because you're right there. You're seeing people. You're able to see what they're doing, interact with them, see what's happening in many different ways. And this makes for a really good experience for you to, get work done in a big way, make sure that you're connecting with people and being able to do it. So I would recommend go take a look at it. I'm going to. I have not been there yet, but Mitch, thank you very much for telling us about that. Again, that's the Facebook/Oculus Horizon workrooms. You'll want to make sure that see what is happening there. And by the way, we got a comment here from Dr. Raquel who says, oh my God, so much is going on. Yes, indeed. There is a lot going on. And that's why what we want to do is not be scared of it, but rather to say, okay, a lot of stuff going on, and we're going to figure out a way to handle this. It's what we'll be doing this coming Wednesday. One way to do that is definitely to hear from an expert who knows what's going on, has wrote the book on the thing. He wrote the book, and we'll be able to see that. So Dr. Raquel Rubin, we appreciate you stopping by to say hello. And this got some other nice features here. Now, I want to go down here to the bottom of this article that he wrote. Really, really good stuff. He talks about what's available, how you can do it. Go to your workrooms. This is how you'll see it there. I recognize that right there. You see that on the bottom. There's the plus sign. And then there's an orange tile there with a white pocketbook, it looks like. Over on the far right, you see the little dial pad there. That's what you'll see when you put on your Oculus and start working with it. Lots of very interesting pieces there that you can work with, lots of things to experiment with and play with and have some fun. So he gives some steps here to do it. Step number 1, start the Oculus Remote Desktop app on your computer. Once you get your Oculus, you can do that. Log into your Workrooms account, and from your Oculus headset, open the Horizon Workrooms app. And so it is a little bit involved. You'll want to spend some time with that. I would recommend what you do is get involved in a group that's doing it so somebody can walk you through that. I've been stumbling around a little bit myself, and I want to get some other people around that can say, oh, it's the one on the left, not the one on the right. Rather than going to the wrong thing or clicking on the wrong thing, you can do it a lot better that way. It'd be a lot faster. So a lot of good stuff here. And he finally puts final pro tip. If you're invited to join someone else's workroom outside of your team, completely exit your Horizon workroom space on your Oculus. After accepting the invitation on your desktop or laptop, go back into your Oculus and click on the Workrooms app. You'll get a code and can type into your laptop or desktop or via Oculus. It took us a while to figure this out, so hopefully this tip will help you to avoid frustration and save you time. Mitch Jackson, thank you very much for that comment there. So he puts this all together here, does a lot with it. And I want to come down here to his conclusion. He says, look, there are many options in the metaverse, and the number will only increase over time. I'm excited to see what the future has in store for all of us. As of today, my choices for a professional working environment. That's important to all of us here, particularly we Agorapreneurs, the people who are entrepreneurs who believe in live and let live. Working environment are Spatial Io, Facebook, Oculus, Horizon Workrooms. We'll get those down first. Then we can go to others and create your own workrooms as well. I really like that idea. I understand and appreciate the popularity of other platforms like Decentraland, Sandbox, or Roblox, but right now I'm not comfortable with these spaces looking more like games than professional work, meeting, and presentation environments. And that's okay. I think we're just getting started. It's kind of like saying you see the internet in 1992 and you think, oh, why would I even want that? I got more things to do. Well, yeah, but look at what we're doing now with it, doing a lot more. So I think there's a lot of capabilities out there that we can do it. And so I would say, as we look at what he has said, what he has done, this makes a lot of sense. It's something that we can get into and something that we can use and start working with in a big way. And a lot's going on with that. So we would love to have you join us coming up. We've got an event coming up this Wednesday. There's no charge to it at all. It's our Video Rockstars that Gina Carr and I put together, but you do need to register for it. You'll go over to VRS, as in Video Rockstars, event.com, videorockstarsevent.com, or you got your smartphone with you, just point it at that little QR code and that'll bop you right over there. I think that's a technical term for it. It'll bop you right over there. Gently bopping. I think bopping is legal now if it's done gently. So you'll be able to get sent over to that. I think you'll find that very helpful to see it. A lot of good things happening. A lot of good things happening in this thing called the Metaverse. A lot of good things happening with VR, and we're seeing many things happen. Think about the possibilities with this. You'll be able to interface with people and have a private stage where you see each other, you're talking with each other, and it's almost like you're right there. That's going to be fun. Being able to bring in people from around the world and see them even more interactively than on Zoom. Zoom is still good. We love it and we use it regularly. Almost every day I'm using Zoom. And I really appreciate Eric Wan, the CEO of Zoom, and that team that he's put together. Really good folks. So a lot of good stuff with that. But we'll be talking about all this and more. And so you want to make sure you can come over and see us. That'll be Wednesday, the 23rd of February at 4 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Just use Siri or your Alexa or whatever tool you have to find out what that time zone is for you. And we'll be able to cover that. So we're going to cover a lot of good information, and we will be looking at many, many other different things that are happening and how they're going on. Tantalizing tech tips from Terry. Yeah, that's going to be a big part of it as well. So we'll do all of that and being able to do some things that are really good. Hey, my buddy Felipe Gomez says, hello. Buenos tardes, mi amigo. ¿Cómo estás? How you doing, my friend? Felipe is one of the leaders in thoughts down in Colombia who now lives. We benefit from him being here in the United States. They're in the Atlanta area. So good to hear from you, Felipe. Wonderful speaker, a person who brings in a lot of international work from many different areas. And he speaks Spanish really well, too, since it's his first language. He's doing that well. Felipe, good to see you. So a lot of good things happening here with this, and I would encourage you to not be overwhelmed by it. Oh, it's easy to get overwhelmed. I've been using my little Oculus here, and it's kind of, in a way, it's a little bit overwhelming at first, but in a really good way. It's like I'm listening to it going, whoa, look at all these things. Even the regular videos that are on YouTube stand out just really great. I love listening to my favorite band, Leonid and Friends, on the stereo that they have there, as well as watching the full screen. And particularly some of their new videos. By the way, if you're a Leonid and Friends fan, you know they do a lot of work from Chicago. They've got a new song that they just did by Chicago, Ain't So Blue. And I thought, oh, that was really good. Ain't So Blue. I think that's the word. But they just really did a great job with it. They've done so well with it. And watching it on the Oculus and the VR experience really takes it to a whole different dimension. I was sharing that with Gina. I let her see that tour of the White House so you could see it. It was almost like, wow, we're right here. I mean, the person just sat down, the president just sat down, and then we're watching Michelle Obama right across the table talking to us and showing us around the White House and what's going on. You're in those rooms. You're going, wow, I feel like I'm right there right now. And I want you to think about this. It's nice to see that ooh, wow, golly gee stuff right now. But I want you to start thinking about how you as an entrepreneur can start putting these ideas together. Take a little bit of all these, put them together, and start thinking about ways that you can work with it. Get involved in the communities. Start slow, get involved in some communities, see what's there. I'm not making any financial advice here whatsoever, but I am making educational advice. This is something that's not just fleeting. It's not just temporary and only going to be here for a few nanoseconds and then go away. Now, a lot of the NFTs, things like that, they are going to go away. But many of them are going to stay, and many of them are doing very well right now. And so you don't want to say, well, because a few are going to fail, I'm not going to go to any of them. Hey, roll it back to around the year 2000. Were there websites and e-commerce sites that went out and tried to get business and do something, but they ultimately failed? Well, yeah, absolutely. Does that mean we threw away the entire internet? No, not at all. It means you got to be discerning. And it means you need to get wisdom and advice from others. Find people you can trust. It's one of the things we do at Video Rockstars. We're giving a lot of information, showing what's happening, bringing in experts to talk to on a regular basis. So these kind of things are out there. And I encourage you to get used to that, get into the fun, because it really is fun when you get to see it. Hey, I'm Terry Brock, and I really look forward to hearing from you. You can drop me a note, real simple, terry@terrybrock.com. And matter of fact, you know what? I've got this somewhere else, but I'm going to show you what I can do right here as an example. What I'm going to do is I'm going to type something here real quick, and I'm going to put in my email address right here. I want you to see how we can do this really fast, and there it is. Suddenly just appeared there because I typed it in using this tool called eCam. And I can put it in there like this so that you can see it. Anything that you might mention, you can pop in real fast. I would encourage you to get a tool that you can use like that. eCam is one I love, I use on a regular basis. It's available over on the Mac, and there are others that are available for the PC side, the Windows side, like OBS and vMix, and there's several others. We've talked about these in Video Rockstars as well. I have found I can't know everything about everything. I've selected eCam because eCam is really dynamite. Good little tool. So anyway, send me a note if you got a question or a way we can help you out. And also here, let me bounce back over here real quick. Whoops, not to there, but to right there. There it is. There's the registration again. You want to register at vrsevent.com. No charge at all. And you'll be able to be registered. You'll get the note and be in the Zoom room with us and see what's going on with all the good that Mitch Jackson is doing. And Mitch Jackson, if you're watching this, thank you, sir, for what you've done, the groundwork that you've laid, what you're doing. And we're looking forward to seeing you Wednesday. We're going to have ourselves a really good time. I wish all of you the very best. This is Terry Brock for Agorapreneurs signing off.